Now we turn to the story we have covered for days in the Midwest and weeks, really. We're so glad that we're not seeing devastating weather right now like we saw in Mayfield, Kentucky, decimated by deadly tornadoes that went through the western part of the state and 4 other states back in December. 88 people killed, making it the deadliest December tornado on record. More than a month later, people there are still trying to find their way home, so to speak. Joining us right now, NewsNation's Rudabeh Shabazi, host of Weekend Prime. You were on the ground. We were so happy that you were able to give us just a view of what people are going through personally 1 month later. And it's just so sad to see that there are many who still are homeless.
Yeah, it's actually been almost 6 weeks now. The holidays have come and gone. They celebrated, homeless. They lost their homes. And this is not, I said even when I was on the ground, this is not going to be a days or weeks or months long recovery. This is going to be a years long recovery. I did call over yesterday. There are still almost 400 people living in state parks who still don't have their homes. They're living in state parks. Of course, the federal aid was immediate. The aid sailed through the legislature at the state level as well. So the money is not the problem, but it just takes so much time. And I talked to a lot of people who just really are not that. There's a lot of hope. There's a lot of positivity, a lot of good stories, but there also are a lot of people who say, I don't even want to go back to Mayfield. I don't want to be there, and I still don't have a home.
And you're going to go back next week and actually be reporting for us and NewsNation on the ground. Is that right?
That's right. I plan to visit the postmaster, who I loved that story. Only a day or two later, after the tornado outbreak, he was still on the ground delivering mail among the rubble, even though people didn't have homes. It was still so important to him to continue his job and have some sense of normalcy. So he was still delivering mail. So I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to go to the state parks and talk to the people who are still refugees. Basically, they have no place to live. They're still there. We're going to check in with the mayor and people on the ground and also assess the damage.
It's so, first of all, it's cold. It's winter. And you think about women or men, families living in their cars. When you talk about the people who you've met, in terms of what's next, do they have instruction from anybody, social services, anybody, as to what they should do next?
There are social services. I actually want to play Jasmine Parrott, who we introduced to you on this show. We had that live interview. She had stitches all over her body, staples, and her leg was broken, so we interviewed her from the car. Let's just go back and play a little bit of her sound so we can remember her, and then I'll give you an update on her, what she's going through.
My mom and my sister called me and told me that I needed to get somewhere safe, so the only place that I could think of was the bathtub. That's where I went. I got down, covered my head. The power was going in and out, and then eventually it just went out completely. So I knew right then and there something was about to happen. I heard a loud noise. It sounded like a train. So then that's when it hit me, and that's whenever I guess my bathtub flipped over, and I just kept like rolling over.
So remember that interview.
I remember her.
Just so powerful. So she still can't work. She still can't walk. And she is an example of someone who has aid available to her, but she's just stuck in this red tape and this bureaucracy. I spoke with her last week. She said she still can't work, still can't walk, and she doesn't want to be in Mayfield anymore.
Oh, it's so hard. And it was just, that actual interview was striking because she had stitches, I think, on her face, and she was sitting in the car with wounds. You could tell that she had been hit by flying debris, and you were having this full-on conversation with her, and she was just so humble. And what are they going to do now? I'm so glad that you're covering this story, and we're not dropping it, but we're sticking with it and seeing that these kinds of things don't go away when the cameras go away.
Exactly. It's a story that will be going on for years. And so I am eager to see, what improvement has been made, but only about 4% of the debris has been cleared at this point. So imagine that and what 4%. That looks like. 4%.
So most of the homes that we saw that were completely demolished are just sitting there.
Just sitting there, and huge debris piles everywhere. It's just going to be a momentous task, and it still is ongoing, the work there.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.